Hi, I'm Aaliyah Royce, and this is my This Is Me video. I'm going to discuss my self-concept, self-image, and how I became the communicator that I am, and how my life experiences and the people who I've interacted with have shaped me and changed me, or formed me. So I'm first going to start with my reference groups. Growing up, I was always very girly. I was interested in impressing my older brothers, impressing boys. I was very boy crazy. I was interested in mainly hanging out with other girls who had similar interests. We would do creative things like make music videos together, play with dolls, Polly Pockets, American Girl dolls. We loved dressing up. I also was involved in gymnastics when I was around 9, and then I did dance later, mainly ballet. So it was always very feminine activities that had to do with just being very girly girl. Growing up, I was always very confident. I loved who I was. I never thought I was fat, never really looked at my body very closely. I just had a great self-esteem. I can think of some moments starting back when I was in around 8th grade when people started to not like my best friend very much, so therefore they didn't like me as much, and I didn't fit in socially because of who my best friend was. And I thought this was really unfair because one of my previous best friends was in the popular group. So I just started to think, what's wrong with me? There must be something wrong with me. And throughout high school, I felt that. I lost a very specific close friend my sophomore year of high school. Freshman year was great, but sophomore year it went downhill because I lost this one friend. And so I just started to think, oh, there must be something wrong with me. So I fell into an eating disorder, and I became obsessed with eating foods that were extremely low calorie so that I could be as skinny as possible. I dropped to about 115 pounds. Right now I'm about 130, so that's a fair bit to lose. And that was when I was 15. So the doctor thought there was something wrong with me, and I was just like, hey, I'm still eating, so there's no problem. Then later, there was a guy that I became obsessed with, had a huge crush on, who I was talking to, who made me feel bad for the person that I was. And since I was trying so hard to be accepted, he had an influence on me and got me to do things that I morally would have been against. So those are some life experiences that have changed and shaped me and shaped my self-esteem. Thankfully, later in life, I became a Christian because of how bad my mental health was because of all of this, and I turned my life around. Well, God turned my life around, and I love the person that I am, and I realize that I have worth in Christ, and my worth is not based on my past experiences, and that doing what the Bible tells us to do and doing what God tells us to do has our best interest in mind and is also an expression of self-respect. So I would say that all of this knowledge, all of this experience has really shaped me to be a good communicator. I feel that because of all this, I am able to communicate with people who have gone through similar experiences as me. I'm able to relate to them. So I really do feel that my experiences have caused me to be more mature, more intelligent, and that is what enables me to relate closer with other people and to communicate with them as effectively as possible. Clear, honest communication solves almost every problem. So if I hadn't had some really difficult experiences, I might not be as great of a communicator.